Welcome to Everything Currency, everybody. So today I'm actually headed out to go to the lake so I can go for a nice crypto walk right now because there's so much stuff to talk about in this market, and I haven't done a video where I'm actually just in the car for a minute. So in this video I want to talk to you guys about two things. Of course, carbon credits. As always, I want to tap in a little bit on carbon credits and let you guys know what my thoughts are, as far as like some people are saying, hey, carbon credits are a scam, carbon credits are not good for the environment. So we're going to take a look a little bit about that argument today. So basically, like, if you watch my video on carbon credits, I'll put like some type of link in the cards for it. And basically I was saying, hey, look, carbon credits are going to be huge. It's going to be the next big thing. Now, in my opinion, this goes hand in hand with crypto and everything. So there's two things. Okay, so let me just back up a little bit. So here is what's happening in the world. We are having a technological revolution, or we're having a revolution, right? Now, this revolution, there's no name for it right now, but I think it's going to be called, like, you know, the connection revolution, or the AI revolution, or the blah, 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 blah. And basically what this revolution is a revolution of data. It's a revolution of how we can share data, exchange data, how computers can share data and exchange data, how AI can share data and exchange data in a way that we have never seen before. Now, when this happens with AI, it's going to be called the Singularity. And once the Singularity happens, we're going to be able to solve a bunch of problems. It's just like having all of the smartest people in the world, not one or two, but all of the smartest people in the world who could communicate, speak the same language, and figure some shit out. That's what we're going to have with this data revolution. So like, AI is going to be a big, you know, part of that, and that goes hand in hand with crypto, because if you know anything about crypto, then you know that crypto is all about keeping us connected in a way that is decentralized. And for AI to actually work, it needs to be connected and it needs to be decentralized. So crypto kind of goes hand in hand with this revolution. Is going to be data and crypto that's going to be allowing people to share data and do things in a brand new way like we have never ever before seen in our lives so far on this planet, which is going to be pretty interesting because, as you know, when new things come out, there's old things that are kind of around, you know what I mean? Like the successor doesn't want to, I mean, the king don't want to get off of his throne per se, but it's like, if that throne is no longer a valuable throne, hint the dollar, when it comes to something new like Bitcoin or something like that, we're going to see these battles kind of take place in general. So we're having a revolution, right? This world is finna change faster than we've ever thought. Technology is finna change everything. Like, one example would be robotics. Any mundane job that you've seen a human doing, such as mowing lawns, cleaning windows, filling up cars at gas stations that are not self-serve, all those type of jobs are going out the window. Humans are not going to be performing those jobs anymore, because one thing is, humans don't like to perform those jobs, but we need humans to perform those jobs. And then there are simple jobs. Filling up somebody's gas tank, it's a simple, easy job. It doesn't take any skill, but humans want to get paid a ton of money for it because they're humans, and humans deserve value, and blah 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 blah. So machines can do all that shit without us being like asking for more. And so, that's a side note. So that's just an example of one of the, you know, industries that's going to be affected by this AI and data, you know, this AI and data revolution. So I got a phone call, so that kind of messed me up. So now I'm here at the park. I'm finna get out, and I'll tap back in when we get close to the lake. Decentralized. All right, so it's a nice day out here. It's a little chilly, so I got the sweater on. You know, I got the California look. I got the hat, the sweater, and the shorts, you know. But yeah, where was I at? So let's talk about, so I'll get into that later on in another video if you guys want me to go deeper on my thoughts on the revolution. Data is a whole another thing, but this brings me to my newest, most interesting discovery, is that carbon credits is going to be a very interesting and important part of this revolution. So revolution's dope. Hey, we're building robots. Humans get to do more of the stuff they like to do. Let's just say, like, things become cheaper because we don't have to pay robots that much, and people are happy and all this stuff. But then who's gonna make the robots, right? So everybody who's all scared about artificial intelligence, just go start making the robots. Teach your kids how to code some of this stuff, and you won't have to worry. Like, you don't want them to be a janitor anyway, right? Anyways, when it comes to all that stuff, who's gonna build it, right? Who's gonna build it? And then when they build it, what is that gonna do to the environment, right? What's gonna happen to, this is a man-made lake, but man made this lake for a reason, right? So we can enjoy it. What's gonna happen to all this stuff, as we start having robots and pollution and all this stuff that if you're one of those people who thinks that pollution is not bad for the environment, then you can go ahead and skip to another video. And if you have any information on why you think that, please let me know, because as far as I'm concerned, humans are doing things that can hurt this planet. We're knocking off the natural balance of carbon in the atmosphere, and these things need to be fixed. And if we want to have this revolution that's going to make things more enjoyable for humans, and it's going to take away from these mundane jobs that humans are engaging in, we're going to need a way to not destroy our environment in the process. I don't know if you guys ever worked at an R&D company, but you have to do a ton of testing. Once you figure out something works, you have to figure out what's going to make it fail. So there's a bunch of testing, there's a bunch of waste, there's a bunch of pollution that happens in these type of environments. Even if we switch over to renewable energies, we're gonna have a time period where it's gonna suck. Someone's gonna have to build those things. Like, for example, a wind farm in the ocean uses metals and materials that take petroleum chemicals to make. Those are all issues that need to be solved in a way as we transition. And this is where people get mistaken when they're saying that carbon credits are a scam and they're not good for the environment in this way. So let's look at the whole overview of what I said. There's a revolution happening right now. New technologies are becoming available, but our world that we live in, that we get our resources from, is staying the same. There's no resources, there's no new resources coming from the sky and giving us more, resources that we need. It's all here already. We need to protect it. People are bringing that to the forefront as we go through this revolution, right? As we get smarter, we're going to learn more and more how what we do affects this environment. So there is a transition period that needs to happen in between. For example, if you like electric cars, everyone who drives an electric car, some people are not going to let go of their electric cars yet. Some people say, I want power out of a car. Well, until electric cars become powerful as some of these gas cars and people get a chance to experience what they like, or until it just gets phased out altogether, there needs to be a transition period. And it is my belief, and a lot of other people way smarter than me's belief, that if we don't have the environment at the forefront of our minds during this transition period, we're going to destroy the world. We're going to melt all the ice, and we're going to put put oil in all the oceans and kill all the animals and all that stuff. So it's like, even if you don't believe in global warming, that oil spills happen, and oil spills kill a lot of animals. We need different type of things in order to counteract this destruction, or actually minimize it down to zero. So net zero means net zero. We get rid of all the carbon. Neutrality is where we need to reach first, where we can say, hey, look, for all the shit that you mess up, you go and fix something. You cut down a tree, you plant a tree. You emit one carbon, you pay somebody else to store or remove that carbon out of the atmosphere. And that's where carbon credits come in. So a lot of people say, oh, this just allows companies to emit more. Listen, if there was no carbon credit, or if there was no regulatory carbon market or a voluntary carbon market, these companies wouldn't give a shit. The sky would be brown like it was in LA back in the day when they first started the factories, or like it was in San Francisco or any big city. We would see a brown sky based on all of the emissions, and the air would be dangerous to breathe. So as we transition to some of these newer, can't see the, as we transition into some of this new technology that this revolution is going to be bringing to the forefront of our lives, one thing every company is going to have to buy is carbon credits, unless they are the company that is producing the carbon credits. Well, they don't produce carbon credits, but earning the carbon credits. So what happens is companies get carbon credits for doing things, carbon sequestration, removing carbon from the atmosphere, storing carbon in the ground, making it get out of our atmosphere in natural ways, like going into the ground, dispersing, all that stuff. That's what people are, that's what all of these industries, every single one of them, in the developed countries, are pretty much going to be required either by the government or their customers, because customers are also requiring this from companies. We're requiring that, hey, you don't kill the environment for me to buy something from you. So this is a very huge thing. Now, the carbon market is still in its early stages, and there's two types of carbon markets. There's voluntary carbon markets. That's the ones that we can participate in, where we can go and buy carbon credits, or we can offset our airplanes or our cars. For example, if I do some research, I can figure out what's my carbon footprint of my car, and then I can go out and buy carbon credits to offset that footprint. And what that really means is, what I'm doing is I'm taking my money that I can go spend on destroying the world, and I'm going to put it into something that's trying to save the world. So for everybody who says, oh, this is a scam, it just allows this and it allows that, understand that companies would not invest this money into anything good for the environment, because they want to invest in things that are profitable. And if they have a new way to be profitable, or if they have a new way to show their customers that they care about the environment, it's going to be something that's good for the environment all around. It should be good, in like 5 years, we should be discriminating on companies who are not trying to save the world. Like, you have competition, but we're all part of the earth, so that's just part of it. So in conclusion, in this video, responding to the guy who said, hey man, aren't carbon credits a scam, and responding to all the people who say, there's a lot of activists, I might get a lot of hate for this video, there's a lot of activists who hate carbon credits because they see it as a way for corporations to spend more money. For corporations to just emit more. But keep in mind, that money that they're investing in that reforestation project or that ocean cleanup project, that money that they're investing into those projects that save those animals and save the world, would have gone to somebody's pocket if it wasn't for carbon credits. It would have gone towards somebody's bank account to feed their great grandchildren, because they don't need the money. They're just trying to make sure that their great grandchildren don't have to be any value to this world. So that's changing. Carbon credits are going to change that, and that's why I had a realization of like, hey, I like crypto because I'm investing in the future of different technologies, in the future of different ledgers. That's what crypto pretty much is, and everything runs on a ledger. Now we have another piece to that, where any and everything is going to be dealing with one problem: how do we save our world? How do we keep these animals alive, because they keep us alive? And the transition, let's just be a society that's totally good for the environment. The transition, the getting there. Listen, we already dug ourselves in a deep hole. We dug ourselves in a deep hole in the Industrial Revolution of, hey, we can build shit. We didn't care about what happened to the environment. 100 years later, we're learning, oh, that stuff is bad. Let's go do something else. And here we are. We need a transition. We need a tool to make these companies say, we need to put money towards that. Now, as carbon credits get more and more expensive, and as people get more and more cautious, companies can go ahead and figure out ways to end up net zero without, just closing their doors. So, just something that I want to talk about. So, this video gives you a lot of overview of why I'm so big on crypto, why I'm so big on data. Data for sure is the most biggest one. All this has to do with data, and data is definitely, there's a dog like going crazy. Let's see if we can get some ducks fighting some geese over here. So yeah, the carbon markets, they have a bunch of issues. Just like crypto had a bunch of issues when I got in. But what's cool to see is, like, when I got into crypto, a lot of the stuff that we have now was only being talked about. The mechanism to do NFTs, OpenSea, these different type of things were just ideas, and now, they're platforms that make billions. So this is something that I'm pretty excited about. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on my whole idea. Like, do you guys think I'm tripping? Are we even in a revolution? You guys like, nah, bro, everything's gonna be the same. You think the world's gonna get blown to smithereens before that? Or do you think that, okay, this kind of makes sense, we need a way to transition into net zero, and carbon credits is one of those attempts, and just like with every industry, there's gonna be some corrupt things going on, and can't deny that. But it's a very interesting time right now, and it should be very fun. And pretty soon we're gonna start getting into some carbon credit projects that I like, that I'm gonna start putting some of my own investments into. Just like, I already mentioned Dovu, which is one that I'm already putting some funds into, and then Nori, I'm waiting for that because they're going to be a place to verify and be in exchange for these credits. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about the video. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed to the channel. Think positive, and positive things will happen. Until next time, peace.